Hey guys, hope you're having a good night. So this reading we're gonna do is a love reading. Well, I can't talk already. A few days ago, I had asked you guys what kind of topics you wanted me to talk about. I was gonna do an in-depth reading, and the majority of people actually said a love reading. So I figured I'm gonna do that separate, and then tomorrow, if I have like the energy and time, I will do an in-depth general reading. And a few people did ask me about kind of like future and kind of what's going on, just generally future. So I'll do that one hopefully tomorrow. They'll both be on YouTube because I'm sure they'll be longer than 15 minutes. So, all right, what do we need to know about love? The only thing I do want to say is only take it if it resonates. Like if you want it to apply to you, don't take it just because you want it to. Like see if it actually aligns with your energy when I'm talking about it. Some messages might align, some won't, and it doesn't matter when you're watching this, even if it's 6 months or a year from now, the message can still apply to you. So, okay. What do we need to know about love? What do you guys want us to know? No. The deception and envy card, I'm pretty sure. And then I shoved it back in, so it wasn't meant to come out. We got root chakra, heartache and loss, and sacral chakra. 1, 3, 2. I love when they come out in like weird order. We got fulfillment of wishes and moving on underneath, and we got power. New beginnings, light, power. So a few minutes before I started doing this, I was kind of channeling into some energy because the energy the last few days I've been going through a trying time, and it kind of shifted where I was more present and just kind of chill energy. And as it came in, I was kind of getting this feeling. They said new beginnings to me, and I was seeing kind of this masculine energy that's kind of been planning, or they are planning and they're kind of preparing, and like a new beginning is what I got from spirit. So if that resonates with you, it might, because I saw the new beginning card and they reminded me of the message I got. So we got fulfillment of wishes and moving on. With root chakra, heartache and loss, sacral chakra. The sacral chakra, immediately they said sexual energy to me. So, but we'll get into that. Let me do this first. The fulfillment of wishes and moving on. So, all right. This is what I'm just going to repeat kind of what they're saying to me is like, you need to balance your energy. There's a balancing of energy coming, and what you desire will come for you at the right time. But certain things in your life need to balance in order for other things to kind of come in. With the moving on card, it's not what they're saying to me, even though it says that. It more so feels like as you're kind of balancing things, some type of opportunity is going to open up for you, but it really comes down to divine timing, and it really comes down to your own personal journey and what is going on with you in order for love to come in for you. With the root chakra, I want to pull more cards. I just got the urge to pull more cards. With the root chakra, heartache and loss, sacral chakra. Damn, this came out pretty strongly. Like soft, but like abrupt. I don't know what the word is. I just saw the love begins card. It didn't come out though. Partnership and alliance. Just these two. Patience and planning and choose wisely. So what's interesting about these two cards is this to me is usually the twin soulmate card. A lot of time, not all the time when I pull this card, but sometimes when I pull this card. And a lot of times to me, it actually resembles this with the two cranes at the top. Not always though. So let me actually channel into it, but that's why I was kind of like, oh, okay, because that's usually what it means. Okay, I'm not getting that. What I'm getting is solid foundation. A lot of you guys are working on balance coming, solid foundation. If you're noticing like things keep coming in pairs in like a few of the cards. With this patience and planning, a lot of you guys are kind of already in situations that are mirroring certain relationship aspects you guys have had difficult times with. So it might be triggering, like you might be in this energy now, or you might have been in this energy, or you might be coming into this energy where you're going through kind of insecurities, jealousies, traumas, wounds, things that usually affect you from feeling safe, or from feeling fulfilled, from feeling secure and stable in relationships. So as it's kind of mirroring and coming up right now, it's giving you guys awareness to certain areas that maybe weren't the best or most healthy for you, for your personal self. Like what type of relationships you were in, because I get like a lot of, we got the wisdom card, but I get a lot of this like wisdom energy. Like a lot of you guys are in learning phases and healing phases right now, and you're building inner stability, and you're going through kind of different areas of old relationships, but somehow they're mirroring in like mostly present energy for you to kind of, they're saying like weathering the storm too, for you to kind of see where kind of the foundational cracks, excuse me, where those things lie. So if you're, you know, jealous in relationships, it's kind of being shown to you, like the light is like illuminating on why you're jealous, why you're feeling insecure, where that's stemming from, where it kind of happened in the past, and then how you can handle it in a healthy way, how you can deal with it, or how you can communicate it, helping you to see what your deeper needs are. So there's a lot of different, they're saying like different categories of those relationship stuff where you didn't have security and stability in former relationships. With this choose wisely card, and I noticed it was 77, they actually pointed out to me. Some of you might just be a really like spiritual relationship that you're going to enter into, or you're already maybe in a little bit or something. Because those type of relationships are very, they're a lot of work. They're not toxic. They're just a lot of work because they mirror like all the things that you need to heal, but then you guys show up for each other in healthy ways. You guys fix things, you communicate things, like things get better. So for some of you guys, you might have relationships that you are in that end up being like that, that are very like healing and I just looked up, it was 707, very healing and very, just eye-opening, but they're also a lot deeper of connections than, you know, just a normal human relationship. Like soul relationships oftentimes are very healing when you're in them, because people like the person will show up for you in the way you needed in the past that wasn't healed. But when that happens, it triggers like all of those times that you weren't shown up for, and then it triggers like this discomfort of being shown up for because you're not used to it. And then it triggers, you know, the insecurities of like, is this person, you know, actually showing up for me? You know, it triggers like all these other wounds that you haven't dealt with and stuff like that. And a lot of soul relationships are like that, but they're not toxic, and like they're healing, and they shift and they grow, and two people like grow together in those relationships. With this choose wisely card, it doesn't necessarily feel like there's going to be a choice. It more so feels like it's going to be one person, and you already know. You're going to already know who it is. It doesn't feel like anything like that. It more so feels like you guys are scared that maybe you're going to have to make a decision or a choice, or you're scared that maybe somebody you're interested in or you want to be with is like wanting to choose between you and somebody else or something like that. That's kind of what that energy feels like. What is this card sticking out? Solar plexus chakras. So a lot of the bottom chakras, we have definitely been working on this for a few weeks now. For some of you, it's just like confidence, empowerment energy, needing to feel more confident for a relationship to come in. You know, are we ever going to always like be fully confident and stuff? No, but you should have some confidence and stuff. You need to have value and worth within yourself in order for you to not accept and tolerate shit that you don't deserve. Like you need to have self-respect, and you need to have like values, and you need to know kind of what you want and what you deserve, so you're not settling for less, so you're not doing things like that. So do you have to fully be confident and feeling great about yourself? No. But you need to make sure that like you're showing up for yourself in relationships in a good way, and you're showing up for your partner in a good way. So with the root chakra, heartache and loss, sacral chakra, triumphant, success, wisdom, partnerships, and alliance. So I get like this energy of like you're building your foundation now, your internal foundation, so you can have healthy relationships. And this kind of relates to what I've already said, like about certain things needing to come up to help you to see it. And it feels like it's helping you grieve. There's a lot with the sacral chakra, like where you were seeing your own sexual like trauma, or I don't like to say the word toxicity, but kind of the best way I could describe it without going into super detailed toxicity, where you were maybe looking at materialistic things when it came to sexual stuff, or where you were putting your energy into kind of trauma beliefs and things that weren't really emotionally fulfilling. They were more so just like validation or things like that. So a lot of you guys are kind of reflecting and seeing that. There's been a lot of shifts in the collective with this too, and like porn and like the feminine masculine roles, and kind of this big shift with us right now, and like the masculine kind of like using feminines to feel validated or to feel like worthy within themselves, but not really actually seeing how it was affecting the feminine, not really considering her emotions and how she was going to feel. And they were, some of them manipulative on purpose, some on, you know, like subconsciously manipulative. Whereas the feminine felt like she had to kind of give herself up to feel like a man or a masculine wants her, or to feel like worthy, and not really be able to stand in her like body safety and stuff like that. That's not going to be for everybody, obviously, but there's a big collective thing that's not as big as it is. It's just kind of examples of it. So obviously take it as it resonates for you, if it resonates. We got triumphant success, wisdom, partnerships, and alliance. So this feels very strong, but soft at the same time. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like, but like, I just get this, like something's going to kind of appear out of nowhere. It's like after you've kind of learned what you needed to learn, you're going to come together with somebody and you're going to be like a partner. Like it's going to be a true partnership relationship where some of you guys, if you are in a soul relationship, you're going to have a soul mission you kind of go on, and you're going to be working kind of together, not necessarily in a job together or in a profession together, but oftentimes if it's a soul relationship, you have like your path, they have their path, and you kind of like balance each other. You might help each other, give each other guidance, certain things like that. Some of you guys might actually work together and do some type of creation together, or passion together, something you guys maybe like together. But it just feels like this true partnership where you guys feel really stable, really solid, like you have a good foundation of friendship. You really know each other like through and through, and like you know how to communicate, or you work through communication issues and you work through issues. And like they're saying like hard work and teammates, like you guys are teammates, you work together to fix things. It's not me versus you, it's us. And you work together as a team, and you are working on skills now to help you with that. So like skills now where it's like, okay, what are my needs? You know, what's going on with my emotions? What are their needs? What's going on with their emotions? And then how can we express them in a way that's healthy for our relationship, but healthy for me, healthy for them? And how can we compromise or work together as a team where we can see both sides and we can kind of meet in the middle? A true partnership. So that's with that. This deck is like standing up. I don't know. Yeah, it's like standing up, and let's just, I don't know. I only want like a few cards from this. It's short. All right. What do we need to know about love, romance, that type of stuffs? Passion card was just sticking out. It didn't come out though. So Jesus, what the fuck is with you guys? No. It doesn't want to come out, apparently. Yeah or no? The passion card came out. Okay, I guess it did want to come out. We got... Yeah, the passion card came back out. I should have known, because the way it like was... I can't even explain. I could feel the energy of it, so I should have just known it was going to come out. We got 7th house relationship in Capricorn achieve. So if you know anything about Capricorns, they're notorious for being ladder climbers, and they're notorious for kind of going after what they want and getting to the top. They're showing me the Saturn in the back of this, and I'm not really totally sure what that has to do with, but they're just pointing it out to me, so I have no idea what it has to do with. But With the 7th house relationship, if you notice, is 2 hands holding together, which is just like that partnerships and alliance card. And there's really, I think, there's not very many cards like this in any of the decks. So it's interesting. I pulled from these 2 cards and we got both of these, like the ones like holding onto the arms and the other ones, you know, holding hands. It feels like this like hard work, and like Capricorns are known for hard work. It's like when you come together, like you guys are going to put the work in. And the thing is, like, when I say hard work, I don't get like hard work where it's like this exhausting, like stressful situation. What I mean is it's 2 people coming together and putting the work in and putting the effort in. Whereas maybe you're in relationships in the past where it was one or the other person, like it's going to be both people. So if there's a big task, you're both going to be doing it. So it's half the work, and it's like working together as a team. But the hard work is communicating and doing things where you're valuing your relationship, where you're prioritizing it, where both people are doing that. So it's not like hard work isn't it's stressful. It's putting the energy, putting the time, putting the positive things into it that relationships need. And like, I think a lot of times it gets a bad rap because it's like, well, it's stressful, or it's so much work, or it's so much this. But think about anything that you love, like anything that you do, any passion of yours, like it takes effort, it takes consistency, it takes balance, it takes sometimes hard work, sometimes shit's stressful, but it's like, isn't it worth it to keep moving toward what you love and what you want? So when you get into these relationships, it's going to be that type of teammate relationship where you guys are going to be putting the work in together, where like if one person's down, the other person's going to lift them up, but it doesn't feel like work. You know, it's like when you do your passion, does it really feel like work? Because like for me, when I'm in like the energy and I'm doing like any type of business stuff, I don't feel like I'm working at all. Like I never feel like I'm working. So I think like that's kind of what they're trying to get at with the whole, is like the putting in the work together. I fucking lost my train of thought. We got passion and hearth. I don't know what the fuck that means, but I love how we got the flame. And we got the sacral chakra, which is usually where the flame energy is. I also like Capricorns because they're earth. So a lot of things are very grounded, practical, except I feel like Capricorn's a little impulsive, a little bit, whatever. With the passion and hearth. So it's interesting because what they're saying to me is like, with the first card, it's like the feminine becoming really like into her feminine energy, very creative, very just light and flowy and passionate. And with this hearth card, it feels like the masculine making things happen realistically, like in the real world, and doing kind of the planning and stuff like that. But it feels like this like purpose, this with the masculine, I get this sense of purpose, this power, this fire, and like in a really grounded, stable way where they have maybe felt like they didn't really have a purpose, or they didn't really understand it, and like feels like they're already in this energy now, and like they're coming more into it, where they're kind of realizing like they're leaders, like they're role models, they help people out, things that, you know, maybe they're very strong at, they take for granted, and they don't realize like that it's actually a strength that so many other people don't have. And I will say this, I realized this a few days ago, is for me, my energy is so open that when there's stuff that needs to come up, it just naturally flows up, and I know how to deal with it. That does not mean I don't have breakdowns. That does not mean that like I'm always good or anything like that, because that's not what it means. And I think people misunderstand that. It's sometimes very heavy and overwhelming and shit like that. But I know how to process it in the way that works for me. I know how to release it. I know how to deal with it. I know how to manage it, things like that. And I think I haven't always been that way. I've only been that way for the last, I don't know, maybe a few years. And I can't even remember. No, probably the last few years, but how to actually deal with it, probably the last 2 years, I would say, maybe year and a half, 2 years. And I didn't realize that people actually have to try to go into stuff to process it. They have to actually pull stuff up. Like, it's not as easy, and they don't have as many skills with certain things like that. But that's also part of my purpose, is to help people with things like that. And like, whereas the masculine, they are a role model, they are a leader. There are certain things that they're good at, or certain life skills that they have, or certain certain perceptions or groundedness or nurturing energy or vulnerability, or there are certain things that they have, certain characteristics they have that is not easy for other masculines to deal with, or is not easy for them to really incorporate and stuff. So the masculine, when they start seeing this, which I'm getting the sense they're starting to see this now, they're going to be coming into that, which is going to kind of create this fiery passion for them. And the feminine, it feels she's not really in this totally right now, the passion energy, and I get a lot of emotional energy for the feminine, but it feels like there's going to be a shift or something like that. I got February 17th. So there's going to be a shift. They told me that like the last reading I did, I think it was like a week or so ago, they said there was going to be a shift between the 14th and the 17th. So maybe the end of the shift is on the 17th. So then like there's going to be some type of passion or some type of, like, I don't know, the feminine just feels like this very soft, like kind of romantic, just sensual, like passion, flowy energy. That's the best way I could say it. So don't hold on to the date. It might not be for everybody, or the energy just might shift to bring it in that day, or you might start feeling it that day, or whatever. Positive movement forwards on the bottom. Okay, let me pull. I'm trying to think what other deck I want to pull from. So they just said something to me, and I just heard somebody talking as you're watching it. So, which is like, when's love coming in for me? Like, why are we not getting to like, when is love coming in for me? Or like, what about my person? Or, specifics and things like that. If you're in that energy and you're asking those questions right now, okay, that means you're not ready for a relationship probably, because when you're in a place of stability and you're in a place of intention, I would say, I don't know a great word to say for it right now. You want a relationship, but you don't need to seek it out because you're not trying to heal inner child wounds. You're stable and you're more surrendered and accepting, and realize that if you were ready for a relationship, you'd be in one. So if you're still in that energy, you're still chasing. And if you're still chasing, there's some type of emotion or belief system or trauma or something that is uncomfortable for you, or fear or something that you're not dealing with or you're not wanting to deal with. And that's why you're still in that chaser energy. So that's not going to be for everybody, but I could definitely feel like a feminine energy literally saying this. So yeah. All right, let's pull from here. All right. Love, romance, what do you want us to know? Possibilities. Ordinariness. Morality. Those are fun for love. Oh shit, I just opened up to the Tower card. Yeah or no? Yeah, this card is so strong right now. The integration card. I forgot to tell you what card it was. The integration card. This energy is so fucking powerful. Like, this is like just, I told you we keep getting a lot of balance and twos, which doesn't surprise me. And if you notice, everything's kind of balanced. But if you also notice, a lot of the masculine cards, we're getting a lot of passion and fire cards. And the feminine, we're getting like a lot of like lovey, like soft, like romantic kind of flowy energy. For the people who it relates to with soul connections, because I just keep getting a lot of soul connection energy. I get a majority, it's going to be soul connections. I do get for some of you guys who are still in learning phases, like you're not necessarily going to meet like a soul connection right now, because you're needing to go through the phases you're needing to go through. And you would kind of already know which one you're at somewhat. If you don't know which one you're at, and you don't realize that you're kind of more in the advanced healing part of relationships, and you've been like single for a little bit and doing the work and sitting with it and stuff like that. Like those are more, I would say, soul connections, but obviously don't hold on to it. If you're not in that and you haven't been, then you're probably not ready for the soul connection yet, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Save the video and watch it later on when it actually resonates and stuff. So it doesn't mean some messages won't be for you, but yeah, it just feels like this balancing of energies and these soul connections, and it feels like you guys are growing a lot stronger. What's interesting is it feels like the masculine's feeling a lot of the energy connection, and the feminine almost feels disconnected from the energy. Like she feels like she's focusing on self right now, and he feels like he's focusing on like this passion, leadership, coming forward energy, and like planning. I keep getting the same thing for the masculine, planning. So it feels like he's connecting more energetically to the relationship, and almost feels like he's kind of bringing energy into the relationship. Whereas the feminine kind of feels like she's not really in that energy right now. She's kind of focusing on herself and can't really necessarily feel the connection right now. Maybe she could before, but she doesn't feel it. Eagles might be significant in some way. There's an eagle there, another eagle. So they're saying back and forth to me. So some of you guys, it feels like you might be going back and forth with something. And I just like literally heard somebody laughing. So some of you guys might be going back and forth. And then did one of you guys just laugh when I said that? And you're like, God, that's me. Like, yep, that's me. Because it definitely felt like a masculine laughing about that. Like in a funny way, like got called out on that one and like laughing and smirking about it. So it's this energy of feeling things and seeing things from a higher perspective. A lot of you guys are getting perspective changes, and it's just show you like that you don't need these, like, you know, let me figure out how to explain this. So it feels like some of you guys have a lot of pressure on yourself that you need to have like all these characteristics or all these perks or all these benefits. Why, like you need to like exude all these things in order to attract love is kind of what it feels like. It feels like you feel like you need to be all of these things in order to attract love, but you don't. You just need to be you. Like you being you and you being vulnerable and you being open will naturally attract the right people to you. Like when you're in a state of you and authenticity, that's what you're going to attract. So it doesn't really matter if you have, you know, insecurities. It doesn't matter if you have confidence issues. That shit doesn't really matter. As long as you have the internal stability, as long as you have awareness, as long as you have communication, as long as you have good, healthy tools and you're willing to put the effort in and you're willing to work together as a team, all that shit doesn't really matter. Like the right person, like even if you're not aware of energy or you don't feel it, you know, strong, the right person will energetically be attracted to you. They will, it's not a material thing. It's a energy. I don't know how to explain it. It's like an energy thing. You'll just naturally be like drawn to each other. But it just is, it's like you guys are getting like a perspective change on that is what it feels like. It's like you're getting a perspective change on, like, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to look like certain ways and be certain ways, or like some of you even feels like your personality, like I just like to stay at home and relax, and then you think you need to be like this outgoing person or go be social and all this shit. The right person and you will just mesh, and if you don't, you'll figure out how to work together. Like you don't have to be exact and you don't have to worry about that. Like, so I mean, I know for me, I love fucking chilling at home, so like for me, like that's ideal. Do I want to go like grab dinner and shit? Sure. But do I like sitting at home with somebody? Hell yeah, I do. So like, don't even worry about it. You'll meet somebody who's compatible with stuff like that. With this morality card, it feels like a lot of you guys have like a lot of dark thoughts coming up about relationships, and you're getting a perspective change on things that you've kind of done that have held you back. In relationships, I'm hearing vulnerability a lot. So some of you guys where you felt really unsafe being truly vulnerable, there's a difference between sharing emotions and surface level shit versus true vulnerability, which I've been learning. So this has been fun, where you're sharing stuff that's really deeper, like emotions and feelings and things that are things you don't really share with people, that you kind of a lot of times deal with on your own, that you're kind of scared to show people because you're worried about being judged, shit like that. So being vulnerable like that, but also keeping your heart open even when you're scared, even when you feel unsafe, and not running away, not looking for problems, shit like that, and being vulnerable, knowing that you might, I mean, I don't want to say you're going to get hurt, but because it's not necessarily going to happen, but like the fear of that is there. And then you guys put the walls up and you are like, nope, you know what? I don't need to be in a relationship. Nope. I'm going to walk away because this person's this, or, you know, whatever. So it feels like a lot of you guys are working through those energies. You don't have to be in a relationship to be working through them. Some of you guys might be in a relationship, but I get mostly this group is like single, or they kind of already know who their soul person is. That's more so like you're going to be meeting them, or you already know who they are. It doesn't feel like people who are necessarily in relationships right now. But anyway, okay. With the Thunderbolt, rebirth, and intensity, I kind of love the vibes of this. Like, it's so fucking like, just, I don't know, shadowy and heavy. I've been getting so much into shadow energy lately and like kind of loving the energy of it. The shadow self is like the parts of ourselves that we try to hide, that we don't really like, our insecurities, our jealousy, just kind of deeper fears and shit like that. And just like darker, but not dark doesn't mean bad, just darker energy, just things that like we don't normally like about ourselves, or things like whatever. But I'll tell you, when you go into them, it is not fucking comfortable at all. But when you go into them and you start seeing yourself in a different way, and you start accepting those things about yourself, you feel lighter, and you feel more free, and you feel more authentic to yourself, and you don't really emotionally react to shit as much. And it's almost like, you know, it's like, let me figure out how to say it. It's not great with my communication tonight, if you can't tell. I've had a hard fucking few days. So, like, all right, if you start feeling jealous or uncomfortable about something, like, how do you normally handle it, right? If you go into the shadow of it, instead of being like, oh, I hate that I feel jealous, it makes me feel uncomfortable, it makes me feel like this, or you like guilt or shame yourself, shit like that, right? Or you try to avoid it, or you try to like tell yourself like, no, this isn't true, because whatever you do, you try to distract yourself, whatever you do, okay? Going into the shadow is saying, I feel jealous, and going into the actual thoughts of the jealousy. So go through and process the whole goddamn thought. So if you're seeing like some of you like talking to somebody else, going into that whole ass fucking thing that your mind thinks it is, not what it actually is, going into it, what your mind thinks it is, and playing the scenario out, and then saying, okay, so what information do I actually know versus what is my mind telling me? And then going into, but how am I feeling about this? Like, the obvious one is jealousy. Okay, right. But what's the secondary one? What's the real one? What is below the surface? And going into that. And it might be feeling not good enough. It might be because in the past you were ignored and you weren't seen. It could be because you feel unsafe in relationships and that nobody will ever choose you and that people are better than you. Whatever it is, and it might be multiple layers of things. Going into that and then giving yourself that love and going to yourself and saying, it's okay for me to feel jealous. It's understandable if I feel jealous. This is normal that I feel jealous. Like, it's okay. It's okay for me to feel jealous. It's a normal fucking emotion. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't react out of it. Don't go, take it out on people. Like, just handle it within yourself. And being vulnerable also means having a conversation with the person you're with and saying, hey, by the way, this is something that made me feel jealous and this is why, and kind of explaining it to them. And it doesn't mean they have to necessarily change anything, but sometimes if they see it and they know it's something that makes you insecure, in a healthy relationship, they give you validations, they give you reassurance. If there's something that needs to kind of switch in the relationship for you to feel safer and for them to do, like, that's working together as a team. So sometimes it's uncomfortable for us to share those things because that's vulnerable as fuck. Telling somebody that I'm worried about losing you, it makes me uncomfortable, like I feel sometimes unworthy, and kind of going deeper. So that's what I mean, going into the shadows and then reassuring yourself, it's okay for me to feel this. It's okay for me to feel jealous. It's okay for me to feel like that. I've been cheated on. Like, it fucking, trauma sticks with you. Like, you heal it and stuff like that. Sure. And you work through it, but like, your mind still your inner child still remembers it. So it's like, it's okay. Like, it's okay. And the right person will help you heal that, because when they show up for you and you're doing the work, like, that's where that type of stuff heals. And I've said this before, and I fucking hated this. I went to therapy a few years ago, and I remember my therapist had said this to me, and I was like, no, no, no. God, I was so stubborn, like, with this when he said this. And he was like, you need a relationship to help you heal. You can't do it all on your own. I go, fuck that. Nope. Not doing that. And he was not wrong. He was absolutely fucking right. I will give him props on that. He was 100% right. It doesn't always have to be romantic relationships. But a lot of times your relationships can help you heal, because when somebody does the opposite, now your mind, and you're doing your healing work and you're going into stuff, your mind can recognize, okay, wait. This is different. This is new. And kind of, you see what I'm saying? Versus like repeated patterns that consistently happen to you, where people keep doing the same shit over. So it gives it like kind of a break for you to like break free of it. Anyway, okay. With the Thunderbolt rebirth intensity, that's what it feels like a lot of you guys are kind of going into those deeper shadows, or you're getting a lot of triggers right now, to help you actually just transform, to help you grow, to help you heal, and to just kind of like, not like a rebirth, but it's more so like, and this intensity card just feels like it's kind of coming in really quickly for you guys to clear up old shit, so the new beginning can kind of come in for you. But it's like just kind of reshaping the way you see things, and the way you see yourself in relationships, the way you see other people, where your safety issues are, where your trust issues are, where, your deeper sensitivities and feelings are, and how you can adjust and handle them different, how you can communicate them different, shit like that. So that kind of stuff is coming up. I kind of love it though, because, shit's uncomfortable sometimes. Oh, I don't even want to get into that, the discomfort I've been in the last. Shit's uncomfortable sometimes, but it's so eye-opening, and it's, oh, I hope the Kindred Partnership card comes out, because I keep seeing it in my head. It's so healing. Like, shit's uncomfortable sometimes, but like, it's so healing sometimes too. Ooh, we got the Commitment card. All right, I like that, just because it's a relationship reading. We got Discovery, Commitment. All right, give me a good one, guys. Deserving. Here's why I'm laughing. Because the back and forth card, which is what I said to you guys earlier, came out. That's why I'm laughing. But you got Fragmented Energy, True Love with back and forth. That's going on the bottom now. Or the top. Top? Oh, I guess we're doing this first. Okay, never mind. So a lot of this feels like for the feminine. Excuse me. We got the cards out of order again. 6, 4, 5. Interesting. For the feminine, it feels like you're kind of getting clarity and pieces of the puzzle, and you're kind of working through your emotions and coming into your true, authentic self, and learning to love who you are, even when you're not feeling the best or feeling perfect, knowing like you're worthy and coming into this worthiness. And I just keep hearing the word values, like coming into your values. It does feel like you go back and forth, where you'll be in this kind of empowerment, like love energy, this worthiness energy, things like that. And you feel like you'll kind of revert back to old energy, but you're not really actually going backwards. You're just seeing something different. But also, as you're seeing something different, it's helping you see forward, because you're realizing how much you've actually grown from the past, and you're able to recognize stuff, and you're able to see things different. So as those pieces are kind of coming back up, look at how you're handling them different. They might feel the same and they might look the same, but you're handling them different. And I just get this, like they're saying the self-love. I get this sense of the feminine, like it feels so heavy and just this tornado energy. But one day it's just going to calm the fuck down. It's just going to chill out, and you're not going to feel so unsafe and so uncomfortable. For the feminine, it feels like a lot of safety issues, and the word defense came up. And like feeling very just kind of guarded and worried about like the past repeating. So that's kind of what the feminine. We got commitment, discovery, and deserving. Interesting. They want me to put the deserving card to the side. So for the masculine, but this could be for some feminines, but I'm getting mostly masculine. This is them really seeing who the fuck they are and really seeing like where their values are. Like, what is it they really want? Like, it feels like a lot of them are coming into their power and they're starting to see where they've lived very superficial and materialistic ways. They've kind of had a lot of trauma and conditioning and like beliefs, like societal beliefs and stuff like that. And it feels like they're making changes. Like, it feels like they're really making different choices. And for some of them, it definitely feels like feels like a commitment to themselves. And it feels like then they're going to commit to the feminine. They had me put the deserving card to the side. So when it first came out, I didn't read it like this, but the energy I got and what they kind of said was the masculine needs to work through some stuff, some self-worth stuff. And I'm seeing root chakra shit, like basic kind of stuff with them. And maybe some sacral and heart chakra I'm getting, like root, sacral, heart chakra for the masculine. But it feels like some of them know who their feminine is. And if they don't, they know what they kind of want, but they don't totally feel ready to receive this. Like, they don't feel totally worthy and deserving. Not that they necessarily put the feminine on a pedestal, but they kind of see her in a way that she is, where she kind of radiates, and like they don't see themselves in that way. So they're kind of getting to that place where they're starting to see that within themselves. Like somehow there's a reflection. So even if you don't know them, if you know them, you're reflecting with them. But even if you don't know them, it's still an energy thing. So you do energy shit with people before you meet them. But if it's soul relationships, but it feels like that's kind of what this is. And he needs to get to this place where he knows he's deserving, and I'm getting self-sabotage so he doesn't self-sabotage what he actually wants. And it feels like he's kind of ran away a lot from the feminine or former, feminines that maybe would have been good for him or something like that. Maybe not, because it didn't feel like that when I said it. It kind of felt like a little uncomfortable when I said that. Maybe what I should say is he's ran away from relationships and healthier people and kind of went into toxic cycles instead of choosing healthy partnerships because he felt like he wasn't deserving. He felt like he wasn't worthy. So he kind of went to kind of like that conditioning, materialistic, superficial kind of toxic shit. And as he's getting to know himself and he's kind of seeing his own cycles and certain things like that, and they were saying the word spiral to me, as he's seeing those things, he's realizing that he wants somebody who's his partner, who's his teammate, who is this beautiful soul who sees him and loves him. And it feels like they're a little bit scared of being seen. They're still in this energy. Like, they're scared of being seen. They're scared of like their inner child being seen. They're scared of being fully vulnerable. Like, they might start communicating a little bit of vulnerable stuff, but then it's like they won't be emotionally vulnerable with it. They're just very like nonchalant or emotionless, kind of as they say it. Feels like they're trying to take baby steps with it. But it's like they want to be seen. They're just scared to be seen. And that's why they chose people who it didn't really matter with. And like now this one, they're like, this is an important relationship. Like, I'm going after my dream, like feminine and what I actually want. So I don't know. I think it's a really beautiful reading. I think it's a lot of kind of insight. I guess we're going to put from, I didn't realize it was going to be this long. Just quick from Archangels, but I feel like a lot of like what's kind of going on and why and stuff like that. So yeah, this one. Oh shit, I didn't even see that card. Okay. For some of you guys, they're saying this is some of you guys' present energy. It's the 5 of Ariel and 8 of Michael. Some of you guys are feeling like really lost and alone. You're like just wanting like a relationship or really desiring stuff. It might be because Valentine's Day is coming up. So some of you guys, you might be like wanting that, or you're seeing like other people have it and stuff. You're breaking free of something though. Like there's something that you're letting go of, but there's also something that like you're kind of holding yourself back on and you just don't see it right now. So you're going to kind of get clarity on that soon, is what I'm getting from Spirit. So we got 6 of Raphael, Peace, and the Wheel. This one was like hidden though, but I'm going to take this like this because whatever, that's the energy I get. Release the past. There's a more enriching future coming. Let go and let God. Like there is some type of spiritual guidance. Oh, hold on. That's going to help something shift for you guys. And just help things come in. Okay. That was like something personal for me. We got 6 of Raphael in the Wheel. I'm going to read the bottom of the 6 of Raphael. New friends or rekindled relationships. Children or childhood. Embrace your inner child. And then we got the Wheel. New beginnings and delays. A change in direction that offers happiness. For some of you, it's definitely going to be a relationship that's going to be really healing toward your inner child. Something that's going to be very fun. You guys are just going to be like a really good team. You guys might have like really like kid-like personality and stuff. And some of you guys, it definitely might be having kids or starting a family or kind of merging families together for some of you guys. But it just feels like this happy energy. And with the Wheel, this is like the major arcana, like new beginnings, end of delays, a change in direction that offers happiness. Like whenever this comes in, this shift comes in, it's going to just come in real quick. Like you're not even going to know it. It's going to just kind of come in like very unexpectedly. Like it's not something that you're going to really know ahead of time. But you're already preparing for it now. So you'll be ready for it. So I hope that this helped, and I hope you guys all have an awesome night.